Baby, I don't know if y'all can even see me, but I can see you when you're not smiling because your guides tell on you, honey. So before you receive this reading today, give me a smile, darling, even if it's for half a moment. Hey, girl. Hello, my beautiful Leo. How are you doing, darling? My name is SimplyVelca, and today I'm going to be getting into your weekly tarot horoscope messages for September 2021, darling Leo. So if you find any cards that resonate with you in this weekly reading today, remember to let me know in the comments below which cards resonate with you and how, because that's how I keep up with you, Leo, through the comments as well. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe if you do enjoy this tarot reading or you just enjoy my vibe, Leo, because it does help me out a lot whenever you guys do that for me. Remember though, darling, I'm just a man reading some tarot cards to you, Leo. You know your situation better than I ever possibly could, so take the tarot cards that resonate, leave what doesn't, because I'm not going to be offended by it whatsoever. I believe tarot cards are just here to give you some food for thought for today, Leo, a perspective for you to be considering, but never making the choices in your life, darling, because it's your life to live, not mine, Leo. So, all that being said, let's just jump into your weekly tarot reading, Leo. I also did your monthly tarot reading as well, so I'll leave a link to that somewhere around here if you want to check that out, Leo. But let's get into your weekly reading now. So I showed you guys right off the bat the Nine of Cups that came out for you guys, Leo. Now, the Nine of Cups is a card of a fabulous card, right? It's a fabulous card, but it could be better. But we're going to focus in on the main positive message of this, Leo, of where the Nine of Cups represents a wish fulfillment, right? If you look at the definition of the card, it's like your wish fulfillment, extremely happy with just how things are starting to work out, right? So I wanted to like tap back into, Leo, the comments that I just made, right? Because I know some of you guys would be like, oh, Velka is like, it could be better. It's like, what is that pessimism, honey? Right? It's not pessimism at all. Girl, please, me pessimistic, not happening, Leo. But what I mean by the Nine of Cups is that it's not the Ten of Cups, right? I see this as a progression on your journey to the Ten of Cups, where the Ten of Cups I'm gonna laugh when we get Ten of Cups in here now, but it's like with the Ten of Cups, that's when you have it all. So I feel as if, Leo, this is going to be a week for you in that you're starting to see the signs, or like things are just starting to stack up nicely, or starting to progress nicely towards y'all's objective, Leo. Whatever your objective is, some Leo's going to be financial, some is going to be romantic, right? So let's get a couple more clarifiers. Let's get a couple more cards. Two of Swords coming in here. And then we have the Nine of Swords coming in here as well, Leo. So why did I just put that back? Some of y'all Leos might have been like, no, Velka, I don't want that card. Pull that back. Put this back, right? No, I'm just being silly. So Leo, definitely, this is interesting because I do feel as if you guys are kind of left with a choice, right? As one would always kind of just say when it comes to the Two of Swords being at that crossroads, right? You guys are left with a choice. Now, I'm not sure what animal this is, Leo, as I hit my mic. I'm sorry, honey. I'm not sure what animal this is, but I can't help but feel like, and I know it's not an anatomically correct heart, but it kind of reminds me of it for some reason. And so, Leo, it does show to me, and it's going to be such a corny message. And I'm like rolling my eyes even as I'm like feeling called to say it. So it's just like, girl, just know that I'm cringing with you when I say this. But lead with your heart, Leo. Sounds super corny, but I do feel as if with the Nine of Swords here, this is where like you're kind of like stressing out. You're being anxious a little bit in terms of like what decision to take. You guys, Leo, are just like, all right, do I like, Two of Swords, it can be very much so like the matters of the mind. Do you make the choice for like in regards to like a more logical choice, Leo, or do you choose to go lead with your heart? And so, and Chariot card keeps coming in the back of the deck as well for you, Leo. And also with this Five of Cups in the reverse, it's almost as if telling some of you Leos where it's just like, something that I keep using this analogy, and I know it's probably overused on my end, but it's almost as if, Leo, it gives me such a reference of where it's like, the logical side of you, Leo, you're just like, you know what? Every time I would like lead with my heart, or every time I would like really give my all to this situation, to this relationship, to this job, what have you, every time you gave your all to something, it just led to like some disappointment, right? And so it feels as if some of you Leos have kind of veered away or steered away from leading with your heart as much recently. I don't know if if it's related to this or not, but it does feel as if some of you Leos have kind of like put your emotions on the back burner, or like your heart chakra on the back burner, just for self-preservation, Leo. And I totally understand this. I'm not trying to be dismissive of how you guys are being protective of yourself, because it is important to be protective of your heart, right, Leo? Obviously. But I do feel as if like there's a decision coming up for you, Leo, of where you could be like, you again are presented being like, all right, do I choose to be more logical this time, right? And not just wear my heart on my sleeve, so I don't hurt myself in the long run? Or do I choose to like lead with my heart again, even though every time I wear my heart on my sleeve, it ends up being some type of pain, ends up being hurtful on some level, right? And so the message, I'm not gonna sit here and preach on a soapbox to you, Leo, obviously, but I do feel as if like, when it comes, especially if this is in regards to love or just taking a chance with anything in specific, right? That's what makes finding love, finding things that drive you, that inspire you, that really truly fulfill you, right? That's what makes this all fun. That's what makes, when we finally get to that 10 of Cups, right? Very rewarding, because it's like, once you get it, you appreciate like all the risks that you have to take to get to that point. And so Leo, and this is going to be my own bias coming in, projecting onto this reading fully, right? Because I'm always just an individual that would rather experience the extremely painful heartbreak, rather than not potentially entertaining something that could be like that happily ever after, right? So let's continue on with this for you, Leo. I do want to point out, I forgot to show it, but for some of you guys, you may have noticed in the back of the deck was the 8 of Wands. So I do feel like there's movement for you guys. I'm going to be honest, Leo, I do feel like a lot of you guys kind of already know deep down that you're going to lead with your heart, right? So maybe this is just going to be coming in as an extra affirming message to you, Leo, and that how do we put this, that it's okay to like wear your heart on your sleeve this time around. Now, don't be coming back in here, Leo, and being like, oh, Velka, I ended up getting my heart broken, right, later on, because I'm gonna tell you congratulations, right? Because I feel like all emotions are important to feel, and you should never regret leading with your heart. So yeah, I'm gonna just leave it like that. We have 4 of Wands here. Now this is a very beautiful card to be having, Leo, because the 4 of Wands represents a portal, no matter the deck that it's in. Even in this, I think it's like a couple of hairs in here, that are circling each other, but it still creates a portal. But the 4 of Wands, Leo, also showcases a sense of like marriage as well, like the happily ever after that I was just talking about, right? And so regardless of whatever your objective is, I do see it being extremely rewarding, like you taking a chance on this, you leading with your heart on this difficult decision. It ends up providing to you that happily ever after, right? It provides that happiness for you, because here's the thing, I don't feel comfortable in telling people that it's like, oh, this is going to be for forever, because free will, darling, and all of that. But I do just feel as if you leading with your heart this time, it's going to be something that you won't regret, truly. We have the 8 of Cups coming in here. So this kind of leads in the sense of like walking away from something. But what is it about, darling? What are you walking away from? 5 of Wands, conflict. You're walking away from conflict. You're walking away from, how do we put this? Just things that had just been slowing you down. Now, is this like, it feels almost as if like a distraction of some sort, right? It's almost as if like this is kind of connected to the 2 of Swords, almost, of where, I don't know, it's like an interesting dynamic. I can't help but feel like by you leading with your heart, you're also having to like, that means you have to like let go of a certain chapter, like an old chapter in your life, like letting go of the hope that this, past connection's actually going to work out, or letting go of the hope of like something just working out. Yeah, King of Cups here. I do feel as if this is like an overall message here for you, Leo, of where you're kind of walking away from something that you're being extremely hopeful that was going to like pan out better for you, Leo. You're really hoping in that, like, it just feels like you're being extremely optimistic or like really trying to just not wanting to give up, right? But your heart was like your heart has been telling you to just like go on to something else, right? Even if you have nothing, no logical reason as to why you need to like move on from something. Like, it just feels as if like Leo, as I was saying with the Nine of Cups, where it's just like you may be in a situation where it's like, it's fine, you know, it's good, right? But it's not the Ten of Cups, right? And I feel almost as I just feel as if, Leo, that a lot of you guys are going to be walking, you know, the message of the Eight of Cups, and I'm gonna like try to find it in this other deck as well as I'm like speaking to you, Leo, is that like you're walking away from something, like you're walking away from Eight Cups that would normally fulfill most people, right? Eight of Cups is you're taking that risk, right? In this deck in specific, Leo, and I'm going to try to find it as quickly so I don't waste y'all's time. This individual is walking away. She's in a desert and she's walking away from this oasis that she's in, out into the desert, because she feels just deep in her gut that there's something deeper out there, something better, something more fulfilling out there for her, right? For him, her, they, right? Whatever your gender is, but in this case, this is a woman here, right? So in this Eight of Cups, as I was saying, so she doesn't know that there's water, there's something better out there for her. She just feels in her gut that she needs to move on. She needs to take a chance on something, right? So I hope this reaches the Leos that it needs to reach, right? I definitely feel as if for many Leos, usually I don't like to make my readings very relationship focused, but I do feel like in this case, we're really tapping into at least something that you have a lot of emotional investment into. You've really been holding out on it and hoping that maybe that Eight Cups kind of starts blooming into a Ten of Cups, but it doesn't. For many of you Leos, I have to be, you know, me saying it, but it doesn't, right? I feel like that's a little bit aggressive, but yeah, lead with your heart, Leo. Now, darling Leos, let's get into your spirit guide and ancestral messages for today. Let's see what messages we have coming in this week for you, Leo. Let's see what your guides and ancestors have to say, what guidance they have, what knowledge, darling, that they have to expound for you. We have the World card coming in here. Then we have the King of Pentacles. And then finally, Leo, we have the Queen of Swords stepping forward to you, Leo. So interesting. I do feel as if, kind of similar to Aries in the sense of where I feel like both you and Aries, Leo, are exuding this Queen of Swords energy, right? You are really putting your foot down and like I'm being shown like a moat. It's like you're no longer going to be allowing things in that is not going to be building up your empire. Leo, I do feel as if now we need to, like, your main focus is in terms of just building things up. And I do feel as if with this World card coming in, you building things up is you closing off cycles to other things as well. Seven of Wands here. Yeah, it is definitely like there's this constant perception in the Strength card, your card coming in here. Yeah, it's this it feels almost as if, Leo, you're really in your head, excuse me, about the perception of other people. I'm sorry, I drank a bunch of water before y'all's reading. Try not to burp in front of y'all. It does feel as if, Leo, that you need to not be afraid of looking like a hard ass, to be honest. You need to not be afraid of coming off as a hard ass, because like as like the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Queen of Swords represents, you know, the Queen of Swords, she's very cutting. She's very you know, if there's any type of red flag, honey, she's gonna cut it out. King of Pentacles, it's all about that overall long-term stability. And so it does feel like for a lot of you Leos, like what the hard choice has been for you guys is that you guys have been craving a little bit more long-term stability in your life. You know, it feels almost as if for many of you Leos, you are kind of acknowledging like whatever this objective is with the World card, like whether this is like a relationship of some type, platonic or romantic or work situation, or even like a job. It just feels as if like you're kind of aware that something just isn't there for the long term, or like you kind of are just have this awareness of being like, all right, I don't think this is really going to go anywhere, right? And so that's part of the reason I do feel like that's kind of like your issue, or like the dilemma that you've been in, Leo, where you're just like, you have this feeling being like, I don't know if this is really meant for long term. And I feel like you guys are now really craving a lot more stability, Leo. You're craving connections, you're craving things that just will feed just like the bigger picture on things, if that makes sense, Leo. You're no longer interested into like having like those temporary connections, those temporary friendships, those flings that you might be having with relationships, those jobs that like don't really feed into like your long term, you know, like it just pays the bills, right? It's not building up like a giant empire for you. It feels like you guys are just craving things that you can really just naturally grow into and continue to grow and bring further stability into your life. Knight of Wands here. Yeah. So with this Knight of Wands, Leo, I do feel as if your gears are just shifting, right? It does feel as if for some of you Leos, you may feel like your tastes are just maturing more. Your desires are maturing more. I feel like, yeah, overall, I feel like I'm just tapping into a Leo that everything's starting to become more refined, more mature. I feel like you're slowly just stepping into more comfort of your own skin, if that makes sense, Leo. So let's feed these cards to Miss Ma'am over here. And then now, Leo, we're going to be getting into how people are perceiving you at this time. This portion's not meant to resonate with everybody. I feel like this portion is meant to just reach very specific Leos that are looking for insight. So how this is going to go down, this could pertain to a soulmate, twin flame, work, family, darling. It could be anything, darling. I'm going to talk about the attributes that I see from this person. It's up to you to see if it's even relevant for your life. So, and we're going to just dive into that. So let's get into this, Leo. We have here the Seven of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles coming in here. So, Leo, you kept on having the Seven of Cups, by the way, trying to show up in your reading. So it definitely shows to me like this, like a lot of you guys have been extremely just indecisive, Leo. You've been extremely indecisive about like where you want to invest your energy, what you want to be nurturing into. And I feel like for many of you Leos, this is like stepping into the sense of a Page of Pentacles, of where either you just met this person recently, Leo, or you're about to meet this person really soon. And I feel like this person's coming in that really, maybe this is part of the reason of why it is you started to having like a stronger desire towards feeding energy into like more long-term committed things, rather than feeding energy into like people that are just, you know, more like perceived as like, you know, the party goers and all of that, right? It feels like this person's going to come in kind of like very polarizing from what you're used to, right? Maybe you're used to being with around people that are very much so like players, or just like, again, like party goers and what have you. This is giving me just an extremely mellow, calm energy, right? And I feel like for many of you guys, like this, you have mixed feelings towards this person. You're just like, I really like this person, but they're definitely not not the type of person I normally would engage with, if that makes sense, Leo. So let's get some more cards with this. I want to pull a few more before we close this off for you, Leo, because I'm just a little bit nosy, honey. We have here the Nine of Pentacles. Then we have the Devil card coming in here. And then we have the Death card coming in here. So Leo, part of the issue here when it comes to this situation, I do feel like this person's going to be coming in and really, it's almost like the exposure of this person, or through you engaging this person further, it really puts to rest a phase of your life, if that makes sense. A phase of your life. And I feel like for some of you Leos, you might be even with this person like in your head a little bit insecure, because they're just so out of the norm of what you're used to. And so this person really changes up a lot in your life. This dynamic really switches things up. So for many of you guys, I feel like this is already someone that you just recently met, but for other, like a very small few Leos, I feel like it's going to be someone that's coming in pretty quickly for you. Regardless of whatever it is, there's, Leo, y'all have someone coming into your life that really changes how you perceive things, or what it is that you will like want out of a situation. So, Leo, that is the weekly tarot reading that I have for you, darling, for September 2021. Hope you found some cards that resonated. Be sure to let me know. If you'd like to book a private personal reading with me, my website's linked down below, simplyvelca.com. Next to my social medias, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all that just being Simply Velca, honey. But yeah, Leo, I wish you so much luck. I give you all my love, darling, and hopefully I can connect with you sometime in the near future. Be sure to check out your monthly reading as well, Leo. I love you so much. Bye, darling.